You're trying to get from this moment? That's such a good question because we always are. Even when we think ourselves to be content, there's seemingly always the next thing to get to. Maybe we're hungry, so we are looking for something to eat, and then we feel our sweet tooth come up, so we're looking for a place to have dessert, and after that we might feel bloated, so we're looking for a nice cup of tea or coffee or whatever it is. And then we're enjoying that rush for a little bit until we crash, and then we're looking for somewhere to sit and to rest, and then it's evening, looking for a good movie, nice dinner, cozy bed, and again. And so it is. And essentially, that's the whole pinnacle of Power of Now, as made popular by Eckhart. Really, what he tried highlighting was that we're never content in the now. We always sort of one step ahead ourselves. There is a deep mechanism of seeking, which has been born long before the spiritual kind of seeking. And the spiritual kind is just yet another form of the same. We're not content where we are now. And so, whereas perhaps as children, we believe that we would be happy if we got the toy or if we got the chocolate milk. Later on, it becomes something else. It's about getting the girl, the relationship, the internship, the good grades, being popular, winning that match, whatever it may be, all the way to the sort of, regular keeping up with the Johnsons kind of lifestyle that is so familiar to so many of us in today's society about making good money, about having the latest smartphone, about having a nice car, dressing fashionably, looking good, being attractive, feeling like we're getting the most out of life, that we're not missing out. This whole hashtag FOMO thing. It's as if we need to squeeze everything out of life in this pursuit of satisfaction, happiness, ultimately, of course. And what Eckert was pointing to is that it's actually much simpler than all of that. We don't have to manage, we don't have to strategize, we don't have to make 10-year plans. We don't even have to work that hard for it because it is already here. And yet, notice as you sit here now, just taking 5 seconds to close your eyes and taking a deep breath. If you're in a similar place as me, you can almost notice the duality of it, the contrast of a deep sense of peace that you can touch from behind the clouds, and then the parts that sort of get in the way a little bit, the innocent, sweet parts that have forgotten their true nature, that they too are made out of the blue sky, that this satisfaction or whatever is being longed for in the moment is already here. And it's such a rich realization. It's such a beautiful experience to be able to touch both at the same time because we're touching the parts that are so sweet in their pursuit of happiness. All they want is to know more love, to be more intimate with love and its many forms, which can be satisfaction, safety, joy, ecstasy, whatever it may be. It is ultimately all love. And these parts just really long for more of that. But they're misguided in the sense that they're looking for it outside of themselves, not realizing that what they're made of is love itself. Their essence, their true nature is love. It is already at peace, it is already fulfilled. But it is love itself masquerading itself in this way to have this experience of forgetting, of losing oneself in order to remember. And as we catch a whiff of that sweet nectar of our true selves, that is yet another experience to be had that is so beautiful. But that direction, whether of forgetting or whether of remembrance, really is not better or worse. It is not better somehow to awaken than it is to forget oneself. It is the leaving home and venturing out into the into ignorance and then coming back home, turning around and coming home that is so sweet, but it could not be without the leaving. You see, so it is all one part of the whole. And as we recognize that and let go of the resistance to the forgetting, to the clouds, then we open up to that peace, that passive of understanding in biblical terms, or the peace that is not conditional on anything happening. So it's not conditional on us being centered and being at peace because of any external circumstance. It is a peace that permeates our whole being from the inside. It comes from a deep place, a deep-seated memory of knowing who we really are, and that peace and love and satisfaction and causeless joy is in fact on birthright. For we are everything. Nothing can be lacking, nothing can be missing. There's nothing that we need that isn't already here. Because you are not this separate self struggling in an indifferent world. You are the world and beyond this world. Nothing can be added unto you nor taken away from you. And so upon awakening, nothing will be gained, and you will realize that nothing could ever be lost. And therein lies the peace, or the joke, perhaps. There can oftentimes be a big release through laughter once we see through all of this comedy, the divine comedy of the human predicament, of living for so many years, some of us, our whole lives, thinking that we must arrive somewhere where finally we'll be at peace, whereas the peace has been knocking from the inside all along. And so just notice what that's like to arrive now. A rich meditation or prompt inquiry that I've got from Locke Kelly was, what if there was no problem to solve? And I really invite you to just sit with this right now. Just close your eyes and ask yourself, what if there was no problem to solve? What if you didn't have to watch those videos to arrive somewhere? What if you weren't trying to awaken? What if you weren't searching for anything? What if this moment was all there was? And there was no tomorrow, there were no problems to solve. There's just this. And this can become a portal into the no thing, which you are. And it's an invitation that I myself am falling deeper and deeper into, and I'm exploring this as we speak. This is why I record those videos, because I feel that as I'm channeling this message, it brings this character deeper and deeper into the recognition of what is allowing this character to dissolve right before your very eyes. So thank you for walking this path together. As Ramdas said, we're all just walking each other home, and I feel so privileged to be able to spread this message to whoever wants to listen. So please subscribe if you want to help this channel grow. I hope there'll be many more of us and to create a community around this teaching. And I'm equally interested in your experience because this might show up differently in all of us. And yet, exactly the same. For the awareness that is shining through these very eyes is the same awareness that is shining through yours. I am you and you are me. So really, I'm just talking to myself. And you are manifesting me to provide you with this message. I'm sort of like a sock puppet, that just delivers a message that you needed to hear for whatever reason, for this divine plane of life that we all are. You chose to listen to this video, to create this video, to create this character called Milo, to deliver a special message to you for some reason that is happening for you. So I am deeply humbled and happy and full of joy to be able to provide that service to you today. I really am. It's so divinely perfect how we are dependently co-arising. We are creating each other. The the non-dual YouTuber and the listener, it it they both need each other, right? So I really love talking about this, and I'm so happy that this message is reaching out and resonating with some of you. Please leave a comment if that is you, and what else you would like me to talk about. And in the meanwhile, uh, it's an encouragement to myself and you alike to, I suppose, not think about it too much, but just to be in this space, the power of now, and just recognizing that this moment right here, right now, is already it. My YouTube channel doesn't have to grow. You don't have to get anywhere with it. You don't have to understand this message any more than you already have. There's simply nowhere to get to. It is always eternally this moment, this here now. And as part of this moment, there might be parts that are rising and they're co-opting our thoughts and our sense of self into this drama of a human life, where we feel like this is maybe fine, but what's hiding behind, just beyond the corner is even better. Or perhaps this right now, whatever your circumstances are, it might totally not be fine. And I really understand that. That can be really tough. It can be soul crushing, so crushingly painful. And it might be challenging to receive or to assimilate that, what I'm about to say, but even that pain is part of the bigger picture. There is peace and even joy and the pleasure of knowing your true nature can be there simultaneously. As our parts, over time, slowly learn to unburden and to relax as they remember what they're really made of. But as we walk this path towards the full liberation, abiding as light of our awareness, we might still be getting caught in the pain and in the suffering. But that does not mean that we have to get somewhere else. The peace and the joy and the satisfaction can be found in this moment right now if you just stop for long enough to notice that it actually is here. You just have to know the blue sky that is behind the clouds. And the sky doesn't care whether the clouds are there or not. The sky is always at peace. It is always vast, always spacious, and always blue. It does not disappear behind the clouds and is simply veiled. And so that is the real challenge as we walk this path together, to remind ourselves and each other of that, to show up for each other in this way, not needing to fix the practical problems, but just show up with this light, being the lighthouse of our awake awareness, which is the blue sky, and transmitting that frequency of peace, of love, of God's love, which is in every one of us, which is us. It is our true essence. And allowing the frequency to permeate and spread and touch people's hearts. And as we do, whatever suffering we're currently moving through will, I don't want to say cease, not immediately anyway. It takes apparent time for certain stagnant emotions and energies to move through us, but it makes it infinitely. more easeful, to some extent enjoyable, even. If we can just fall into that place of trust in life and in God and in our higher selves, that everything is happening for us exactly according to schedule and according to divine plan. There's nothing that you have to worry about or to manage or to control. You can actually let go now. You misunderstood. It's just a dream. You don't have to worry. There is no big bad thing that is about to happen that you can avoid by trying harder or by managing more, worrying more. You can relax. And the more you relax, the more you let go, the more you hand over the reins to a greater power, the more you free yourself up to receive the peace and the love and the causeless joy that is your birthright and that is already here, available any second of the day to all of us, to any of us. You just have to open up to receive. Happy receiving.